Imagine biting into fluffy sweet berry and oat pancakes, the warm sugar syrup cascading down the stack, the taste of wholesome oats and the tang of fresh berries delighting your palate. Now, picture the savoury, aromatic flavours of Chinese vegetarian roll-me-home dumplings, the soft dough giving way to a deliciously seasoned heart of tofu, shiitake mushrooms and crisp vegetables. These are dishes that are as comforting as they are satisfying. Are you ready to get cooking? Let's start with the pancakes. First, gather all your ingredients for the pancakes. Let's start by blending our oats until they reach a fine, flour-like consistency. This will give our pancakes a special wholesome texture. Next, we'll take a large mixing bowl and combine our freshly ground oat flour, all-purpose flour, baking powder, sugar, and a pinch of salt. This blend of dry ingredients will form the backbone of our pancakes. Now, in a separate bowl, whisk together your choice of milk, eggs, or your preferred vegan alternative, and a dash of melted butter or oil. This wet mixture is going to infuse our pancakes with richness and moisture. Pour these wet ingredients into your dry mix and stir until just combined. Remember, overmixing can lead to tough pancakes, so a few lumps are perfectly fine. Lastly, we'll fold in our mixed berries, adding a burst of fruity flavour. Now that the batter is ready, it's time to cook these pancakes. As we let our pancake batter rest for a while, let's take a brief sidestep to delve into a rather entertaining tale involving a woman named Miss Belle Pum, her sister Hauve, and her children, Pole, Nuddles, and Zoe. Miss Belle Pum is a spirited and lively woman whose fascination for motorcycling is only second to her love for her delightful Volkswagen Mini, a car whose vibrant green colour is as electric as her personality. On this particular day, Miss Belle Pum found herself in a rather peculiar predicament. She had decided to fill up her beloved vehicle with petrol, but much to her disbelief and frustration, all the pumps at the station were completely flat, an occurrence that most of us would find disheartening, but not our Miss Belle Pum. No, her fiery spirit and zest for life wouldn't permit her to simply turn back and abandon her task. In the face of adversity, she conjured up a rather unconventional idea, one that most wouldn't even dare to imagine. She turned to her son Pole, who had unfortunately been feeling a bit under the weather and was carrying around a nauseated belly all day. Miss Belle Pum, in a move that could only be described as audacious and daring, had poor Pole vomit into one of depleted pumps. Now, before your face twists into a cringe, let me reassure you, miraculously it worked. Somehow, the pump was revitalised, and the cars at the station were fuelled up one after another. However, the triumph was not long-lasting. The odour of the vomit, raw and repugnant, became so overpowering that it permeated the air and drifted into the nearby street, causing quite a commotion among pedestrians and drivers alike. The smell was so intense that one unsuspecting man accidentally swallowed it, causing a scene of chaos and confusion. I realised that narrating such eccentric story in the middle of a cooking video might seem a bit out of place. But much like our unconventional pancake recipe, this peculiar incident serves as a reminder that life is full of unexpected occurrences that add a dash of flavour and excitement to our otherwise mundane lives. This story, much like our pancakes, is a testament to the beauty and wonder that can be found in the unexpected. Now, let's return to our kitchen and transform this pancake batter, which has been patiently resting, into mouth-watering, delectable pancakes. Get your skillet or griddle ready. We're about to make some pancakes. Start by heating your skillet over medium heat and lightly grease it with a bit of butter or oil. Now, pour about a quarter cup of batter onto the skillet for each pancake. Let the magic happen as the heat starts to transform your batter into a fluffy pancake. You'll know it's time to flip when bubbles form on the surface and the edges begin to set. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes. After the flip, give it another 1 to 2 minutes. You're looking for a colour that's golden brown and a texture that's cooked through. Once done, transfer your pancake to a plate and cover it with a clean kitchen towel. This will keep them warm while you cook the rest of your batch. With the pancakes cooked, it's time to make our hot sugar syrup. The perfect pancake topping is our homemade hot sugar syrup. This sweet, glossy concoction is simpler to make than you might think. All you need is sugar, water, and a touch of vanilla extract for that irresistible aromatic kick. Begin by combining equal parts of sugar and water in a small saucepan. This recipe calls for 100 grams of sugar and 100 millilitres of water. Add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to elevate the flavor profile of your syrup. Now, heat the mixture over medium-high heat. Make sure to stir occasionally to encourage the sugar to dissolve evenly. Once the sugar is completely dissolved and your syrup starts to simmer, hold that gentle simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. This simmering time allows your syrup to thicken just enough, ensuring a rich, pourable consistency that's perfect for drizzling over pancakes. With our syrup ready, it's time to serve these pancakes. Moving on to our dumplings, we'll start by making the dough and preparing the filling. The dough is a simple mix of all-purpose flour, water, and a pinch of salt. Start by combining the flour and salt in a large bowl. Gradually add water while kneading the mixture. You're aiming for a smooth, elastic dough that's not too sticky. Once you've achieved the right texture, cover the bowl and let the dough rest for about 30 minutes. While our dough is resting, let's prepare the filling. This vegetarian variant is packed with flavor and nutrients. Start with firm tofu. Make sure it's well drained and crumbled. Add finely chopped shiitake mushrooms, cabbage and spring onions, along with grated carrots. For that punch of flavor, throw in some minced garlic and grated ginger. Finally, season the mixture with soy sauce, sesame oil and a bit of salt and pepper to taste. Mix all the ingredients together until they're well combined. Remember, the key to a good dumpling is balance. You want enough filling to make the dumplings satisfying, but not so much that they're difficult to seal or that they burst during cooking. So keep this in mind when we move on to the next step. With our dough and filling ready, let's assemble these dumplings. Now, let's take a small detour from our kitchen to an enchanting dinner garden party at the prestigious Hauves place. This party was not any ordinary event, but a meticulously planned gathering thrown by the charming Miss Belle Pum. Every tiny detail, right from the colour scheme to the seating arrangement, was attended to with the keenest attention, making the event the talk of the town for weeks in advance. The menu for the evening was an elaborate assortment of the most delightful dishes. Among the array of food, our all-time favourite dumplings made a special appearance. However, the star of the evening was the orange marmalade, lovingly prepared from an age-old family recipe of Miss Pum, served in delicate crystal bowls. A little did the cheerful guests know, an unintentional oversight was about to morph the party into an event that would go down in history, not for its elegance, but for its dramatic turn. The orange marmalade, glowing like a setting sun, was passed around as the conversation flowed. The first to taste the marmalade was a sophisticated man, famed his gourmet palate. As he savoured the first spoonful, his face turned an unusual shade of green. What happened next was something straight out of a horror movie. The man vomited into the ornate marble fountain, gracing the centre of the garden. Then, in a surreal twist, the fountain seemed to mimic the man, spewing out the regurgitated marmalade onto the shocked guests. Panic ensued. One after another, the guests fell prey to the contaminated marmalade. A total of 20 guests were seen vomiting, while 9 others had to be rushed to the hospital. Even poor Zoe, who had tactfully decided to skip the marmalade and stick to the truffles, had an unfortunate gastronomical accident. It was later discovered that Miss Pum had accidentally used rotten oranges in the marmalade. This innocent mistake made the high-class gathering a spectacle that would be remembered for its opulence, but for its unexpected drama. Now let's get back to our kitchen, where thankfully we're using fresh ingredients for our dumplings. Now for the fun part, assembling and cooking our dumplings. Firstly, we'll take our rested dough and begin to roll it out. We're aiming for thin circles about the size of your palm. The thinner the dough, the more delicate the dumpling, but be careful not to tear it. Once you've got your dough circle ready, it's time to add the filling. Spoon a small mound of our flavourful mixture into the centre of the dough. Resist the temptation to overfill, as this could lead to breakage during cooking. Now, let's fold our dumplings. We'll take one side of the dough and fold it over the filling, creating a half-moon shape. Press the edges together firmly to seal. If you're feeling fancy, you can create pleats along the sealed edge for that classic dumpling look. This not only makes the dumplings look more appealing, but also helps ensure a tight seal. So you've got your dumplings assembled, and they're looking pretty great. It's time to cook them. We'll need a large pot of water brought to a rolling boil. Gently lower the dumplings into the water. They'll sink to the bottom at first, but don't worry, that's supposed to happen. As they cook, they'll start to float to the surface. Once they're floating, give them a few more minutes to ensure the dough is cooked through, and then scoop them out with a slotted spoon to drain. And there you have it, a batch of homemade dumplings ready to enjoy. The aromatic filling, encased in a delicate, chewy dough, is a flavor combination that's hard to beat. Whether you're serving them as part of a larger meal or as a tasty snack, these dumplings are sure to impress. And remember, the beauty of making your own dumplings is that you can play around with the fillings and flavors to suit your taste. With our dumplings cooked, it's time to dig in. There you have it, 2 delicious recipes that are sure to impress, from blending oats for our pancakes to creating a sweet sugar syrup and even handcrafting our own dumpling dough. Remember, the key to these dishes lies in their simplicity. Fresh berries for the pancakes, firm tofu for the dumplings, and don't forget those flavorful sauces. The journey is in the cooking, but the destination is undoubtedly in the eating. Enjoy your sweet berry and oat pancakes and roll me home dumplings. Happy cooking!